Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today we're talking about Year 5, because it is right around the corner. The official word from Ubisoft is that Year 5 Season 1 begins in early June, and given updates are almost always beginning on a Tuesday, we're either looking at June 6th or the 13th, with Ubisoft Forward being right in between the two, so either one is likely. Regardless, that's just 2 to 3 weeks out, and so today I want to share a few items of preparation you might find useful to do in these last days before the new year of content kicks off. Now, I do want to make this clear right off the bat. I do not think there is anything that you need to do before Year 5 begins. There is no huge urgency here. You're not going to miss out on anything. There's going to be a lot of new stuff to dive into. However, I personally have been doing some things to prepare recently just to be extra ready. And so in case any of you are looking for a similar goal, I thought I would share what I have been doing. So if you end up enjoying, then a like would be super appreciated on the video, and be sure to click that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell. June is going to be a wild month for Division content, and I've got a lot of stuff planned out that you're not going to want to miss out on. Without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so the first thing I want to point out for anyone it may apply to is that Season 11 will of course conclude as Year 5 Season 1 begins, so in case you have not yet gone through and collected things like the blueprints for the new gear, you will no longer have access to unlocking those items in the next update, so be sure to do that if you want them. Additionally, the Sacrum Imperium and the Ninja Bike Backpack exotics will be out in the general loot pool once Year 5 Season 1 begins. Now that's great, it gives you a wide variety of ways that you can play and hopefully obtain them, but especially if you want one or both of those, you should probably finish out the Season 11 reward track, as that is the easiest and most guaranteed way that you'll have to get those items. So get on it. Alright, well I just wanted to offer that up, but let's move on to, as I mentioned, my own personal preparation recommendations and what I have been doing to prepare for Year 5. For me, the majority of my prep is involving stockpiling materials and resources that I can utilize once the new content is here. Because, at least for me, I don't want to have to spend time farming and collecting stuff if I run out once the new update drops. I want to just experience and enjoy all of the new things. So I've spent the recent days and few weeks here working on shoring up all of the relevant and rarer materials used for systems like expertise, optimization, and even just recalibration and crafting as well. There's going to be a lot of new builds to try out, combinations to experiment with, new gear to level up. I mean, I know the moment I get my hands on the St. Emil's Engine new exotic AR, I don't want to have to spend time using it in gameplay to start increasing its expertise level. I want to pump materials into it and have it ready to go right away. So that is where my preparation has been focused. Let's get started then with the first method I've been going after, and that is stocking up on printer filaments. What are those, you might ask? Well, they're the purple quality material you obtain by deconstructing mods. And the reason I'm wanting to stock up on them is because of how great they are in the expertise system. To my knowledge, though feel free to correct me, they have the best, if not one of the best, donation ratios of any other material you can use in the expertise system. Roughly 3,000 of them will fully level up an item's proficiency from 0 to 10. That works great on any older items in the system that you might not be able to use in gameplay, like the raid exotics if you don't have those. For me, as I mentioned earlier, I want to have them available for the new stuff when it drops. Regardless of your reasoning, printer filaments are a fantastic material to stock up on. So how do you do it? Well, as I said, you get them by deconstructing mods. You get 6 per deconstruction to be exact, and so my preferred method is Countdown. Everybody knows how lucrative Countdown is as a farming spot, so go in and set your targeted loot to either gear or skill mods and have at it. You can net yourself roughly 100 printer filaments per run, maybe a bit more if you're lucky, so it's a really efficient method. And because well-rolled mods are hard to come by, this is also a great way to just get a lot of dice rolls on god-rolled mods. I've pulled some great crit mods, resistance mods, you name it, by farming this way, so that is the first thing that I've been doing, stocking up on printer filaments by deconstructing mods, and in my view, the most effective way to do that is by playing Countdown, so have at it. Alright, next up, the other big farm that I've been doing is Dark Zone runs. Now I know that might turn many of you off right away, I know it's a daunting prospect, but trust me, I say it's really not that impossible to find a good DZ server for farming. And even if you do come across a server where there are some rogues, the brilliance about this farm is that there's nothing you're going after that requires extraction. So unless you get a loot drop that you really want, you never need to signal unwanted attention. What we're going for here is field recon data. This is one of the 2 highly desirable materials for optimization and expertise, and you will run out of it quick, hence why some stockpiling is in order. Now there are a variety of ways you can earn this material in game, projects, control points, there's options. However, the DZ offers 2 really great incentives. 1, it's more efficient than anywhere else, and 2, you can simultaneously farm the highest drop chance for exotic components in the game. So in the DZ, landmarks can spawn anywhere between normal and heroic difficulty, and in correspondence with those tiers, you will get more field recon data the harder the landmark is. 1 for normal, 2 for hard, 3 challenging, and 4 for heroic. The same rates apply out in the open world, however landmarks are far quicker to clear than control points are, hence why this is at least my preferred way to farm them. Additionally, whereas control point chests only offer a 10% exotic component drop chance from tier 3 and 4 control points, DZ chests, which are at every landmark, have a 25% chance to drop them. And that remains the same regardless of what difficulty landmark might be spawned there, and you can grab the chest even when a landmark isn't spawned in. So once you get into the flow of whatever DZ you might be in, you can bounce between landmarks, chests, and get some really great material yield really fast. Again, both field recon data and exotic components are two of the most sought after resources, particularly for expertise in upgrading the power of your gear, so if you're running low on either and you intend to check out some of the new stuff Year 5 is bringing, you're not going to want to miss out on that early window. So stock up while you can. Alright, and then the final thing that I wanted to point out here is less of a direct farm, but moreover just a piece of advice regardless of what activities you may be playing in the game right now, and that is if you were over SHD level 1000, save up on your points to spend. My general rule of thumb is to never go below 50 points just in case I have a need to get a particular build together fast or whatever the case may be, but right now I've been saving up for a few weeks and just casually playing, and I'm well over 300. And for anyone who doesn't know, what this means is that every point past level 1000 is a scavenging point, which you can redeem for small bundles of materials in your SHD watch, ranging from the common stuff like receiver components, ceramics, all the way up to the rarer stuff like printer filaments and SHD calibration. So again, this tip is less direct and purposeful, but I always find myself going crazy with build experimentation when a new update drops, let alone the start of a new year. And so when you run out of materials, which you will, it's better to have a bit of a fallback than have to divert your time and go farm more. So start saving up those scavenging points while you can. Alright guys, well those are my tips and recommendations on how to prepare for Year 5, at least filling you in on what I have personally been doing. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, there's no earth-shattering changes that are coming that require you to prepare for things that are going to permanently change, but there is a lot of cool new items and possibilities being injected into the endgame, and at least for myself, I'd rather enjoy that stuff right out of the gate rather than having to delay the fun and go out to farm materials. So everyone will have their own preferences, but my advice is to spend these last few weeks of Season 11 stockpiling what you can while you can, because the new stuff will be here very soon. Let me know your thoughts on today's topics, guys. Have you been preparing for Year 5 Season 1? If so, by doing what? Do you concur with some of my recommendations here, and what are some of your own? Whatever your thoughts are, be sure to leave them down below, and as always, I'll be super curious to read through them. If you want to stay connected, be sure to check out the Twitter and Discord links below as well. But that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Ow.